This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I am Tim.
Tim, how are you this week?
This week, Tom, I am delighted.
Delighted?
I'm delighted to be here.
Uh-huh.
I'm delighted that the weather's getting warmer.
It
Nobody
is.
cares about the weather. Let's not talk about the weather for 15 minutes like
Okay.
we do sometimes. I'm delighted by things that I saw on Instagram today, Tom.
Like what?
Flipping through, people have such interesting lives.
Tim, are you following like those people at like the Instagram their butt or whatever?
No. There's like a whole big like butt Instagram, right?
Oh, big butt. Well, there's a big butt Instagram and there's a big butt Instagram.
Wait, there's a big butt Instagram, but there's also a big butt Instagram?
That too.
Oh,
There are
that's
three
a
different
three-
things
that's a
going
third.
on. Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't look at butts on Instagram, Tom.
Yeah, I don't either, and I don't know why not.
It just seems weird to have an app. It seems weird that you would be out in the world
Huh?
and you'd take a thing out of your pocket, right?
Right.
And you'd look at it and like just be like, all right, well,
Well, let's see what
I used to
let's see
go to the store, just like walk to the store and do my shopping and then come home and make dinner or whatever.
and
this time,
and nary a butt I would see on the way.
yeah, or it's just real life butts, I
Right,
guess.
which it's depressing.
Yeah, but and now it's a thing where it's like, well, at every stage I can just glance down at this thing and see
Check out a new butt.
butts of all sizes.
Well, I mean it depends on the account. I think normally the account it's like one butt per account. It's like the butt is running the account as well.
It's a sentient butt.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
I wouldn't want to use the phone after they post it, right?
right, because they might fart on it or worse.
Yeah. No, Tom, I was looking. This is a complete 180, and I really hesitate to talk about what I wanted to talk about,
No, go ahead.
which was friends of mine and
Uh-huh.
yours are like having kids, and there's some funny
I've
kid
unfollowed
videos.
all those. They
See-
get in the way of my butt pics.
Yeah, see, everybody's all like, don't post pictures of your kids. It's so
Yeah,
boring.
it's just for butts, man.
This is the first I'm hearing about butts on Instagram, Tom.
Were you out of your mind? Boy, you were out of touch.
I think I am out of touch, and
Yeah.
I'm fine with it, because I don't want to become... Look, I've never been a pervert before, Tom, and I don't
Yeah,
want
right.
technology to turn me into a pervert. Anyway, kids on Instagram, they're fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw 3 Instagrams of a mutual friend of ours has a child. We've met this child as much as you can meet a baby.
Well, yeah, okay.
Like, do you think the baby is like, oh, pleased to meet you, Tom? No.
Well, if it's well trained.
That's sick that you think that, Tom. There's one baby. Did you see these videos of this child meeting characters in Disney World?
No.
All right, so there's look. This is just a person that we know.
All right.
Look, I don't want to like intricately
you-
describe like.
Tim, are you doxing a baby right now?
Listen, this baby.
This baby's wronged me. It deserves to be doxed.
Oh, this baby's probably like 2, I guess.
Okay.
Is that still a baby?
It depends on who you ask.
Yeah, because people are like, that's not a baby, that's a toddler.
I'll tell you what.
Shut up.
I'll tell you what. You ask that 2-year-old if they're a baby, they'll tell you go to hell. That
Yeah.
they're not a baby.
Yeah. So this baby was meeting the Star Wars characters at Disney's Hollywood Studios. You know it's not MGM Studios anymore?
I think I did know that.
Yeah. It's Hollywood Studios, even though it's in Orlando, Florida. It's not even in Hollywood, Florida.
All right. Anyway.
Anyway,
Tim, are you just using this to air your grievances against the The theme park arm of Disney?
No, not really. I kind of I've been jonesing to go to Disney World.
Yeah,
for some
well,
reason.
MGM's got no clout anymore. What's the last MGM movie you've seen?
I don't know. That lion's in front of a lot of my favorite pictures.
I don't. No, it's not.
I've decided to be like Variety and start calling movies pictures.
Okay, good.
Tower of Terror.
They're
The
changing
rock and
that.
roll- What?
They're making it a Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Tom, I knew
Yeah.
your
It's
people
not
would screw everything up.
My people. I love Twilight Zone way more than I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. Sorry, I got very excited. It's one of those movies where they're just like, "Hey, it's a real funny movie because it had 3 jokes in it."
Yeah.
Good job, everybody.
Uh-huh.
Good job making a hilarious movie, a fun romp. Every 2/3 of the jokes really landed.
Tim, one of my claims to fame is that I went on the Tower of Terror the first week it was open.
Is that really a claim to fame? Or
mere
you
days.
and the rest of them?
Oh, I can't go back there. I'll be mobbed.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I was there when Aerosmith's Rock and Roller Coaster was not officially open, and they'd open it for a couple hours every day.
Mm-hmm.
I rode that thing a million times. I heard "Love on an Elevator."
Okay.
I heard "Walk This Way."
Right.
I heard "Crying."
Uh-huh.
I heard all these songs on the roller coaster.
Sounds like there aren't many deep cuts on the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster.
I wouldn't know them if they played them.
Yeah. It'd be weird if there were. I wonder if they have like an alternate track that they can be like, we got a bunch of arrowheads.
Yeah,
and
track 9 off Toys in the Attic.
They want to hear it. They're demanding
Yeah.
it.
So anyway, so now it's a big Star Wars part. I guess it's going to be Star Wars and Marvel for the rest of our goddamn lives, huh?
Well, yeah, it's going to be Star Wars instead of MGM Studios. Tim.
Yeah, it was magic. I love those Metro, Goldwyn, and Meyer, all 3 of them.
Exactly.
3 of
All I remember is that Goldwyn, I guess it was maybe Goldwyn Mayer, was the producer of American Gladiators. But no American Gladiators
Man.
attraction at Disney World.
This wouldn't be appropriate for Disney World, but how great would it be if an action park like...
The action park one would be more dangerous than the actual one.
Wouldn't you love to play Assault?
That was the one with the tennis ball gun?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to do anything from American Gladiators.
Why don't they just open that up? Is that set still...
Because I don't think it's popular enough, Tim. I think there's a very good reason.
No, they
This is
started it again with
dangerous.
Muhammad Ali's daughter.
No, that lasted like 3 episodes and then they stopped it.
Yeah, you know what? They made a mistake. They thought everybody cared about the gladiators. They were like, oh, we got to get ice back. I don't care about ice. I just want to see...
Well, you like it for the wrong reasons then, Tim. I don't think we're on the same page.
Love to play the joust.
The gladiators were great because they were assholes.
Sure.
They were just unrepentant assholes. But every once in a while, they're good sportsmen. And then you were like, all right, these guys are good sportsmen.
Yeah, they respect the competition at least.
Oh, once in a while, when they'd almost get in a fight with a contestant, oh, boy.
I don't think that
It would,
actually ever
it
happened.
would really get your adrenaline pumping.
So,
Even just sitting there watching on TV.
So this child,
Mm-hmm.
there's this one video where walking, they're like, oh, somebody wants to meet you. And I don't know what kind of strings they pulled to get this happen. But they like went to this door, this unmarked door, and they're like, wait, look who wants to meet you. And the door opens.
It was the devil.
Well, it was
the devil himself.
Well, first it was Darth Maul.
Oh, pretty close. He's
Yeah,
got
he
horns.
looks like the
Yeah.
devil, but he walked by quickly.
Uh-huh.
And then there,
He was just on his way.
he
to
was on
lunch.
his way somewhere else. Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry, I got another appointment.
Well, that's horrible. Look who wants to meet you, and it's like
No.
villain.
Because then they were like, no, that wasn't the wrong guy came out. Here's who really wants to meet you. Freaking the Prince of Darkness himself, Darth Vader, comes out. And he comes, and it was like a private meeting with Darth Vader. And this kid goes up and just like high-fiving Darth Vader, like running circles around him, like, yeah, this is the best. You know, like
Wow,
he can't
what a
really
bad
talk that
kid.
much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Does that mean he's a bad kid?
Yeah, he's gonna become a villain.
It's like, aren't kids supposed to be afraid of Darth Vader?
Yeah.
All right, and so here is my question.
Mm-hmm.
What is a 2-year-old's understand? Maybe 3. I don't know how old this kid is.
I have a
What
question
is a
first.
child's understanding of Darth Vader supposed to be?
Even if they don't have an understanding, it's still a scary looking character.
Yeah.
It's designed to be scary.
Well, this kid was like, I know this guy from the movies. So
Right.
but does this kid believe like, well, this is the actor that played the bad guy in the movie?
I don't even understand like who the actor that played the bad guy was, because James Earl Jones did the voice.
No, but what I'm saying, does this kid think like this is what this guy?
I think you're giving too much credit to a 2-year-old.
Yeah, me too. And it's a mistake I've made many times.
You've lost a lot of money doing that.
It's true. I should never sign over power of attorney. Definitely not to someone under 4.
Does Darth Vader at Disney World talk?
No.
That's horseshit.
do you mean?
Should look.
I mean, not from this 30-second Instagram video I saw today.
Does it at least do the?
Not really, but you know what? It's better than like a Mickey Mouse situation where it's like, I've seen the cartoon Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
This is like some weird thing. Like it's bigger than it should be, right? Like,
Well, but that's
it's
where it
man
makes
size.
sense
It's weird.
that the character shouldn't talk. But if it's
But Darth Vader, like, just the fact, like, that's like a movie quality costume there.
yeah, then
This
he
kid
should
is just-
talk.
Yeah.
At least have like a little
So you should
soundboard in
get
there with some lines.
James Earl Jones to be,
No,
in the
He's
suit?
not- I don't think he's tall
because he's an
enough.
old man. I
Yeah.
think he needs a cane
No,
now.
but I'm saying even just having
James Earl Jones was an old man when I was like 5.
he wasn't though. He just seemed that way.
Yeah, grandfatherly, huh?
They should just have like some buttons in there with a soundboard.
Well, then they could do that with everybody, Tom.
All right.
Why not do
then
that with Mickey
it
Mouse?
everyone.
Oh, it's me, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, that'd be fine by me.
But like,
I'll tell you what, it would get me back in the park. All right, Tim. What? What are you laughing at?
You nodded at, like John, our engineer, hit record.
Yeah.
And then you nodded at him. And
Yeah,
then
so he knows he's doing a good job.
but you didn't speak.
Well, of course I'm not going to speak, Tim, because we're getting ready to do the show.
All right.
God.
Well, you can thank him.
I
every
did
every
with a
time-
nod.
No. I
was
think
a
every
nod of
time he hits
respect.
record, you should say, thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Nice work, John.
Anyway, Tim, this week, what are we talking about? I'll tell you what we're talking about.
okay.
Don't answer.
Sorry.
We're talking about
It's foolish of me.
We're talking about Wolverine,
Yes.
the character, well, and Logan, also the same character. Spoiler alert.
We perfectly timed this with the release
Yes.
of the
Look, the
film.
movie's coming out soon. No, Tim, I saw the movie. I mean, the movie actually hasn't been out. It came out last week.
Tom, I saw an advertisement that says it's the #1 movie in the world.
Hey, checks out.
Did you just check something, or is that just like your gut feeling?
No, it makes sense. What would be bigger?
Get Out.
That would not be bigger outside the U.S. I feel like
Oh, why
than a superhero movie.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't even know if Get Out has an international release.
That's fair.
Yeah. So Logan.
I was asking you to leave, Tom.
So Logan, the biggest movie
In the world.
ever.
Is that what their claim is?
That's
Wow.
it. From now until eternity.
It looks like one of those movies where people be like, it's a really good movie. And I know, because I've seen all the other Marvel movies.
Uh-huh. You have anything else insulting to say?
Yeah, but I'll
Yeah, you'll deal it out slowly. Over the
yeah, we
course
got an
of
hour to fill on this thing.
So I saw the movie on Friday, Tim.
Okay.
Now,
What'd you do on Saturday?
Saturday, I don't know what I did. Slept in.
Yeah,
I was exhausted.
You're a late sleeping boy, let me tell you.
Not always. You know what I am? I'm a bad sleeping boy. Because I don't know what that was meant to imply. No, I've just got a horrible. I go to bed late and I wake up early but then I also take a very long nap during the day. It's a horrible cycle I'm in.
What time do you take a nap?
Depends on how big of a lunch I've had.
You have the life of a goddamn retiree.
So anyway, I went and saw Logan.
Trust fund kids.
I'm not a trust fund kid. I went and saw Logan on Friday. I was supposed to see it. I was supposed to see it on Thursday, but I didn't know that. I should have known that because I bought tickets to see it on Thursday and promptly forgot. I didn't forget. Here's the problem.
You seem like you're acting as if I'm arguing.
Yeah.
For the listener, my microphone didn't turn off or anything. Tom's just refuting things.
Yeah, I'm having a conversation, Tim.
Sorry, go on. So wait, you bought tickets?
I bought tickets for the first available show, forgetting that movies don't come out really on Fridays anymore. They come out a little bit earlier a lot of times.
Thursdays. Right.
So I bought, and just in my...
One earlier than Friday.
In my excitement, I didn't really pay attention to what I was doing. And boy, I'll tell you, this is a costly mistake to make, Tim, because I bought tickets in 40X because that's the only way to see a movie.
If a movie doesn't have the chair shake and shoot you in the face with a squirting water gun
and rain on you and fog and
you
lightning
get
and thunder.
Wet in these movies, it's not worth seeing.
It is worth seeing, Tim. It's called Immersion. And maybe you should try it. So I bought these tickets. I was so excited to go see the movie on Friday. And then I woke up Friday morning and there was an email from Fandango itself.
Mr. Fandango?
Yeah. Saying, how did you like that movie you saw last night? Oh, son of a bitch. I didn't see it last night.
Mr. Fandango, you're really rubbing salt in the wounds at this point.
No, that's how I found out. Because I knew Mr. Fandango wouldn't be wrong.
Right.
That he wouldn't have emailed me incorrectly.
Yeah, his calendar is tip-top shape.
Yeah, that thing's clean as a whistle. Mm-hmm. So I knew right away, I've made the mistake, not Mr. Fandango.
Yeah.
And I bought $50 worth of movie tickets last night, and I didn't go to see the movie.
Was it sold out on Friday, too?
No.
That's a stroke of luck, huh?
It wasn't that morning. It was for 40X. And I'll tell you what, Tim, I didn't have the money to splash out another $50.
You spent $100.
I was not going to spend $100.
Wait, you bought 2 tickets, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I bought 2 tickets. Friend of the show, AJ, came with me. The royal us.
Yes.
And of course, I wasn't going to be like, actually, I accidentally bought tickets on Thursday. You have to pay me for those. But
you're hoping he'll hear this and feel bad.
No. You shouldn't feel bad. I ate the entire cost of that because that was my stupid mistake. And also, I had already bought the tickets before I even asked them because I was nervous that, what if it sells out? So anyway.
Are you relaying this story so you can now write this off as a business expense?
I was going to write off as a business expense anyway, Tim. So on Thursday night, there were sadly 2 primo seats right front and center, moving in the wind without us.
Moving in the rain and thunder, probably.
Yeah, and wind.
Yeah.
So Friday, new tickets. We got there not late, but not early enough. So we were front row all the way to the right.
Oh, you dopes.
Yeah, and in
Tom,
regular seats with all the poor people.
Well, come on now.
All the poor idiots we had to go see it with.
Tom. I saw a movie with you. Monday.
Yes.
So here's the time.
Days later.
Yeah, Friday.
Mere days later.
Yeah. And you cut it really close.
Did you just there?
Yeah.
Oh, because other people were there, so I knew I'd have safe seats.
Tom.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, and this might be getting a little too personal for an episode about Wolverine.
Yes.
Here's what you got to do, buddy.
What?
If you're invited to something on an email chain, you had to tell people when you're coming.
Oh, but a lot of times I'm going to bail and not
exactly.
come at all.
But you lucked out because that was a sold out house when we saw.
I bought my own ticket. I don't need you people.
No, you dope. Because we had all gotten there at the same time. We went in and sat down. We're like, well, I guess Tom's not coming. We weren't saving you a seat. If you got there 5 minutes later, somebody would have come and taken that seat.
Oh, I still had to sit next to a stranger, so I still got screwed
On
compared
one
to everybody
side.
else. Yeah.
You got to sit next to my girlfriend on the other one. And on the
But
other
that
side,
was her decision.
I know.
She
And
switched seats. She was all the way on the other side
No,
with you, and then she said, I'd like to sit next to Tom.
really raised a red flag. But, buddy, come on, man. Just, I'm confronting you here. Just
I did reply,
write an email.
and I said something.
You made a joke. See, this is the other thing, because this is what we discussed in the lobby. Because we were like,
Look,
hold on,
you were talking about me in the lobby?
Yeah, we're talking about you in the lobby.
Come on.
Because we care about you, Tom. Because we care about you. Because I said, because they said, is Tom coming? And we were like, I don't know. Should we wait for him? I don't know. Well, he did reply to an email, but he just made a joke.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't confirm that he was coming. And if there's one thing that we know about you, is that you're often just willing to jump in and make an unhelpful comment that's funny to you.
Well, sorry if I like to add a little levity to situations and, remind people of the joys of life in email threads.
Well, I'm just saying, Tom,
People are
you really lucked out at that movie. And you know what?
I
Serves
didn't
you
luck.
right.
It wouldn't have mattered. I could have sat anywhere. If I was by myself, I probably would have been able to get a better seat.
Hey, be careful what you wish for, man. Might happen. Maybe you
it's
won't
not
have the
gonna happen for
opportunity
this
to
movie.
go to a movie with a friend anymore.
I don't know. I already got screwed twice that week on seats. So
I think it's screwed. You bought a ticket and you didn't go, and then you showed up late twice.
yeah. So
Man, the world's really out to get you, huh?
it would seem that way.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, go on.
So we're talking about Logan, Wolverine. We're not even really talking about the movie because you haven't seen it.
No, and I don't care to.
Well, I'll tell you this. Great movie.
I hope it's
recommend
raunchy,
it.
though.
It's raunchy as
Yes.
F.
Yeah. Does he say the F word? Because what I want to hear, I want to pay $25 and really hear someone say the F word.
Oh, yeah. You get to really, like, one time he's like,
No, don't say it now.
no, I'm not going to ruin
Okay,
it. No
yeah.
spoilers
All
here. You get to see Patrick Stewart, huge actor, man. A bunch of all your favorites.
Rosario Dawson.
She was in one of the previews.
Nice.
Yeah, so you got a little of everything.
Nice. She's my favorite actress.
How come Rosario Dawson's not a way bigger star?
I think she's a pretty big star, Tom.
She is a pretty big star, but I feel like she fell off for a little while. You didn't see her in much.
A little film called Clerks 2.
Exactly. Why was she in Clerks 2?
She
was great in Clerks 2. I'll get.
Shut up. Oh,
I mean, compared to everybody else.
Yeah, she had the honor of playing Dante's girlfriend, some like community theater actor
Yeah.
from New Jersey. Hey, look, Dante from Clerks seems like a Brian O'Halloran or something.
Sure.
Right? Seems like a good guy.
He hasn't gotten that much practice at acting.
Yeah, it's just like I don't think he's dating Rosario Dawson
Right. But
in real life. And I like to watch a movie where I know that the stars are really dating each other and really in love.
So like the 50 Shades movies.
No, they hate each other, right?
What?
Tom.
Then why are they having sex?
That's my problem with it. This is why I've boycotted it.
Unbelievable. Rosario Dawson, she should be in more stuff. I saw Rosario one time in person, in real life.
Yeah, I know. I was there.
No, you weren't there.
At the Apple
You
Store
liar.
in
You weren't
Santa
there.
Monica with why were
you were there?
Yeah.
Oh, why were you there?
Cuz you were there like visiting me.
In Santa Monica at the Apple Store?
Yeah.
I remember that's where I guess I just saw her and I blind her. I forgot everything else that was happening. I remember how pretty she was in real life.
I do.
She had a big dog with her. It was adorable.
She had 2 big dogs with her.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like I remember more information.
I remember just struggling with a dog. Sorry, Tim. I wasn't looking at the dogs. I was looking at the beautiful woman.
Perv.
Anyway, so Logan is...
I don't need to look at the dogs. I'm looking at dogs on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
So Logan is a very good movie. I recommend it.
Look, Clerks 2 is a better movie than I gave it credit for.
Ever or just now?
Just now.
Are you going to go see Logan, Tim?
I will not see Logan.
Why aren't you going to go see Logan?
Because I don't like werewolf movies.
Tim,
Werewolves are the
he's
worst.
not a fucking werewolf.
Then why is his name Wolverine?
It's Wolverine, not Wolverine. Did you think his name was Wolverine?
No.
Yeah, it's Wolverine.
Like a Wolverine.
Like a Wolverine.
Like many
animal.
wolves.
No.
Like many
not
werewolves.
Wolverine.
Wolverine. Like Ben Verine's son, Wolves.
Oh, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Wolverine.
Wolf as Verine.
No. He's not a werewolf, Tim. He's a mutant. So a little
All right.
discretion, please.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Wolverine
Yes.
is, in fact, half man, half Wolverine.
No.
Then why is his name Wolverine?
It's a nickname, Tim.
Okay, what's his real name?
Logan. And that's
This is. Oh, maybe I will see this movie.
you moron. And actually, his real name isn't even Logan.
Well, then what's his name?
James Hewitt. James Howlett. Howlett, not Hewitt. Howlett.
Jesus, Tom.
James
we
Howlett.
purport to be a complete guy, and then you give the old Howlett Hewlett.
A complete guy?
Yeah.
Is that what this show is?
Yeah,
the complete guy
Yeah.
to everything? James Howlett.
So he was born
Yeah.
in ancient times,
Not ancient times. The late 1800s.
the late 80s.
No. The late 80s.
He's an
to the
80s kid.
1880s, maybe.
All right. So, and this is canon, right? This isn't just the movies. This is
Yes.
throughout
this
the
is-
comic
yeah,
books.
yeah.
So
the movies are fair. We'll get into where they differ, but they're fairly accurate.
So he's an X-Man.
Yes.
So
And that doesn't mean that he used to be a man.
yeah, I know. He's one of the X-Men.
Yes.
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is what that's
No,
short
no,
for. I
that's a
believe.
different thing entirely.
So Professor X, played by Jimmy Stewart,
Not Jimmy Stewart. Patrick Stewart.
TV's William Shatner.
Played by Patrick Stewart, Jimmy Stewart's father.
Right. Okay. So he's a bald man in a wheelchair.
Yes.
And he's also in the 1800s?
No. He ages normally.
So when was he born?
He was born probably in like by this timeline, the 40s, I believe.
Okay, the 1940s.
Yes.
So Wolverine has already been out there. He was a boy at one point,
He was a boy at one point. He was born like a regular baby,
but a mutant.
but a mutant, yeah.
Did he get mutated after the fact? Did he fall into
No,
a thing?
no.
Well, you
don't-
said he was born a normal baby.
Well, but appearances can be deceiving.
Oh, I didn't let you finish the sentence. Is that what
Yeah.
happened? Okay. No, if we rewound the tape, clearly I interrupted you.
So he is born in the late 1800s in Canada. That's a big part of him. That he's Canadian.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ugh. So he's
and
polite.
He's very polite, exceedingly polite.
So he's eating poutine with his claws.
No, Tim, because he's polite. And polite people don't eat poutine with claws. They eat it with French fries.
Oh, jeepers creepers. Tom,
Uh-huh.
fries are part of the poutine.
Right. No, are they though? Yeah, I guess they are.
Yeah,
I guess
it's the
poutine's the
whole-
whole thing.
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you owe me, the Canadian people, and Wolverine an apology.
I'll apologize
And
to,
Ben Vereen.
to the people of Canada, Ben Vereen, Wolverine, not you.
Okay.
Um,
Fair.
So the abilities he was born with are two. What?
Okay.
He was born with the ability to heal himself, to regenerate,
Okay.
to heal from.
Much like any person, right?
Well,
Scabs
no,
and
no, Tim. I'm talking like a goddamn iguana. You can cut this guy's arm off; it'll grow back.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He's not
Claws and all?
Well, I'll get to that. He's not invincible, but he can regenerate from almost anything.
Okay.
Uh,
What can't he regenerate from?
he can suffocate it, like if you get to his brain, like if you
What if you shoot him in the brain?
if you can get in there, sure.
But what does he have? A metal head?
He does, Tim. Don't laugh.
Does he?
It's a very serious issue for him, Tim. It was very traumatic.
Wait, he has a metal head?
Yeah, I'll get to that,
Okay,
Tim.
sorry.
All right, so first things first, he can regenerate. He
Okay.
can heal from anything. Second thing second, he has claws that come out of his hands.
Right.
But those claws, at least when he was born, those claws were bone, buddy. Those weren't metal claws; they were bone claws,
But still sharp?
razor sharp.
Okay.
Throw a scarf in the air, right through it.
Did that happen, or are you just
I mean, they
making
probably
up
would
a
have.
hypothetical scarf throwing situation?
I mean, they probably would have picked a more dramatic way to show how sharp his claws were than that. Doesn't necessarily translate to the
apple.
comic book page
Yeah.
as well. No, a scarf's a hard thing to cut in the air because it doesn't have very much weight. I could cut an apple in the air with a butter knife.
I don't think that's true.
Well, I could do it with a steak knife.
Yeah, I don't know. Steak knives are deceptively dull.
Well, the same thing could be said about you.
Thank you, John.
Good. Thanks, Tim. So anyway, Wolverine, so he can heal, and he's got the bone claws.
Okay.
And,
But
animals, their claws are keratin, which is like nails,
Nails on a chalkboard.
fingernails and hair,
Right.
but not Wolverine. He's got bone claws.
Okay. And he was also, Tom, born with sideburns.
No, those came later in life.
Well, why does he look this way then?
He's Canadian.
All right. Okay. So he grows up.
He grows up.
The 1800s become the 1900s. A boy becomes a man.
Right.
I imagine he got into some scrapes at school if he went to school because of his bone hands,
Well, we all have bone hands.
his bone claws.
Well, but they're not out all the time.
Do they come out when he gets angry?
They come
Or
out.
can he control it?
He can control it.
Okay.
They come out when he wants them to come out. And, funny you mentioned when he gets angry because he made his first appearance in the Hulk.
That is funny. That's hilarious.
He was originally a Hulk villain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he came after the Hulk.
And is that where Professor X heard about him?
From the comic books? I don't think
Yeah.
so.
No, when he was like reading in the newspaper
He
about
heard-
like what the Hulk was up to, and he's like, oh, he's fighting this man, the Wolverine.
He heard about him from Wolverine was in charge of Alpha Flight.
Wait, just hold on. All right, we're getting in the weeds here.
Okay.
What's Alpha Flight?
It's a Canadian team of mutants.
Okay. So we're gonna have to back it up more. I want to know from Wolverine's perspective.
Okay.
When do people start calling him Logan? When do people start calling him Wolverine?
I believe Logan was his mother's maiden name.
Okay.
That's why he chose it, because he's a mama's boy.
Okay.
Let's
get him.
I think he started going by Logan. I think it was after Project X.
We don't know what that is, Tom.
Well, let me explain what Project X is, Tim. Maybe it was before them. Project X, Tim, is how he got the metal bones.
Okay. Wait, no.
What?
No. We had to go chronologically here, Tom,
Okay.
because there's too many. You're bringing up all this weird stuff.
Okay.
So a boy becomes a man. Does he get a normal job at some point?
He's had like normalish jobs. Blue collar. He's never like, an accountant or something.
Why not?
Because he's the goddamn Wolverine, Tim. He's a little furry Canadian guy. He can't.
Is
get
he
a regular
furry
job.
all over?
He's just hairy. He's not like furry like the Beast, or just Beast to people who know him.
Right.
But he's like hairy for a man.
Okay, but not like if you saw a man that hairy, you wouldn't be like, we gotta throw this guy in the river, right?
No. He's hairy like Robin Williams was hairy.
Okay.
Yeah. That's not like he doesn't have an ability that makes him hairy. He's just hairy.
Okay. So he grows up. He's working construction, I guess. Working at a mill.
I think he maybe
A
like
cannery?
no, I think he worked in like lumber. He
Okay.
was like a lumberjack.
Cutting the.
Yeah, but not with his claws
Yeah,
because
that's
you
true.
gotta keep that under wraps.
All right. And so at some point he starts fighting crime. Where does his story become a superhero story?
So that's Project X.
Okay.
So Project X is a government project where
This is before Professor X.
yes,
Okay.
it's just Project X.
This is like the 30s or something we're going to say?
No, it's after World War II.
Okay.
I believe it's in the 70s.
Okay.
So, you know about Captain America's shield?
Wait, can I just ask one question?
Yes.
In the 70s, Wolverine is going to be like a 90-year-old man.
Yeah. He regenerates in such a way that he doesn't really age either.
Okay. Or does he just age? Because at one point he turned from a boy into a man.
Yeah, but then like once he's a man, like what is it? They say you're...
Once puberty kicked in, it was just everything
No,
was
it's
slow.
like a little bit after that, but like basically where you're at like your peak, what would you say? Probably like 30s? I mean, not me and you, but like...
Yeah, no, I haven't yet peaked.
But so like basically in his like late 20s, early 30s,
I would say late 20s, mid 20s even.
He-
Tom, we are over the hill.
he stopped his body regenerated into being like no, the new skin wants to be like a old man skin. No, that's an injury. Will regenerate.
I see.
That's the inner monologue of his
Cells.
cells.
Man, they're very ageist.
The cells, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have to be.
Getting
to keep
old
them
is
young.
an injury.
Yeah.
Screw you.
Well, they want to keep Wolverine
It's
in tip-top
natural.
shape. So the Project X is this government project. So they got they're thinking about Captain America's shield made out of vibranium.
Out of what?
Vibranium, which
Okay.
is very hard metal. And they're like,
Where is it from? Space?
No, it's from Wakanda mostly.
Where?
Wakanda?
Where's that?
In Africa.
Space?
No, it's not in space. It's in
Okay.
Africa. So they make they're like, this shield's great, but what if we could put this on a man's bones? Can you imagine?
So they melted it?
So they come up, no, it's hard to melt.
Yeah, but,
they come up with an alloy called adamantium. Do you know what a metal alloy is?
Sure.
So this is a metal alloy.
Okay.
And they're like, who could we possibly coat their bones with adamantium? And they'd be,
Anyone.
no, not anyone, Tim. Tim, if I tried to put metal on all your bones, your body would be like, oh, hell no. We're not having
Why?
it.
No, my body would be like, yeah, we're going to punch everybody now.
Finally.
Yeah, I'll finally be able to hurt everybody with all this pent-up rage now that I have metal bones.
No, you wouldn't. It would hurt a hell of a lot.
Yeah, it would hurt all the people I was punching. My
Your
metal
body
bones
would,
and elbowing.
would not recover from putting molten adamantium around all your bones. But
We'll table that discussion. What if they made it thin enough as like aluminum foil?
well, then what good is it, Tim? Barely any good at all. You have aluminum foil bones.
No, it's over my bones, and
Yeah.
it's stronger than aluminum, Tom. Keep up.
It's strong. Yeah, but it's too thin. It's not necessarily how thin or thick the adamantium is.
So
it's
you're
the
saying-
fact that it's a very invasive surgery to coat your bones with anything.
Yeah, I think they probably couldn't do it to me in the 70s, but nowadays I think it's possible.
Well, I mean, to tell you the truth, they did get better at it later on because they did it to other people.
See?
But still they had to have,
Other mutants.
yeah, they still had to have the regenerative ability.
Okay.
So they put the adamantium on him, and he was able to heal from it and everything. But boy, it hurt like a son of a bitch. And the side effect of it was wiped his memory.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So he has no recollection
He
of all the
woke up-
time in the lumberyard.
he woke up with metal bones going, what the hell is
All his
this
bones
about?
are metal?
All his bones
His
are
skull?
metal. His skull, yeah. So that's why you couldn't shoot him in the head.
Each toe?
Each toe.
How long did this take, and how did they do it?
It took a very short amount of time, less than 8 minutes.
What?
Yeah. Because
How do you cut open somebody all the way, coat all his bones?
Because they had like a whole machine doing it. It put a bunch of needles in them, squirted the adamantium in them.
So it'd get all in your bloodstream and kill you.
Not him, because he can regenerate. So the adamantium fused with his bones and infused in such a way that it became adamantium beta.
Okay, I don't care.
Which it means
Move on.
that the adamantium will now regenerate. So if you cut his arm off, the arm will grow back with adamantium in it.
Of course.
Well, not of course.
I mean, for someone like me who understands how science works, Tom.
So that's when people really started to take notice.
Right. And so
including
he
Professor X.
fought the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
For some reason. He was like, okay, thanks for this. Thanks for these metal bones, government. Now I'm going to go do bad things.
Well, no, the Hulk might have been bad at that point. The Hulk, you got to keep in mind, is not always a good guy. The Hulk, depending on a variety of circumstances, has very little
Whether
control.
or not he's angry.
Whether or not he's... Well, Tim, if he's the Hulk, he's angry.
Yeah, that's true.
But it depends what he's angry at. If he's angry at, like, some bad guys or just, like, the returns counter at Macy's.
Yeah. Why didn't that guy just jump in the river?
What, the Hulk?
Yeah.
I mean, he's, like, shot himself off into space.
Oh.
Yeah, if he just jumped in the river, he'd come back out.
No. The man, when he's the man. Dr. Jekyll.
No, Dr. Bruce Banner.
Okay.
He would, because, right before he would die, he'd be like, oh, I'm dying. Oh, boy, that really boils my blood. And then he turn into the Hulk and be fine.
Until he dies the Hulk. So they just had to,
There are times where the Hulk, Bruce Banner, shot himself in the head, and then the Hulk has spit out the bullet.
Wow. So the premise there is that everybody dies angry.
Yeah.
If you die, you're just like, fuck this.
Well, that's how I imagine.
Dying, what a raw deal.
Yeah, no, I imagine that my dying thought is going to be, this is bullshit.
I don't know. Maybe it's like, ooh.
Thrown off a roller coaster.
I deserved this.
Soaring through the air. Thinking, oh, this is a load of shit.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. So yeah, then he becomes like a Wolverine. He becomes the Wolverine.
So who named him Wolverine?
I forget, but I think it's mostly because he didn't really know who he was. He didn't really have much memory, and people were like, "You're like a goddamn Wolverine." He was like, "All right."
And did he go, in what way?
No, he probably.
In what way am I like a Wolverine? Because to my eye, there's nothing Wolverine-like about me at all.
No, I bet he was like, "Oh, I could see that."
Oh, on account of my metal bones and
no, the fact that I have claws.
Everything has claws.
If there were no, not everything has claws.
Everything
I've told you
could.
that multiple times. And if there were two men, like let's say he was joining like a fraternity or something.
Okay.
And they were like, "All right, we're gonna introduce you to all the guys. This is Bozo, and then this is Lucky Larry,
Okay.
and this is Wolverine." You'd be like, "Oh, why is his name Wolverine? My name's they call me Wolverine." They probably be like, "Oh, we got Wolverine." He'd probably be like, "Oh yeah, well, does your Wolverine have claws?" And then the claws would come out and they'd be like, "Well, no, I guess, yeah."
But I have sharp teeth.
Oh, the other Wolverine?
Yeah, and
the original
I have
Wolverine?
hair all over me, and I'm tiny like a Wolverine.
But so's
I'm
Wolverine.
vicious.
So's Logan.
He's not vicious.
Oh, he's vicious as AF. As AF.
Wow.
Yeah. He's super vicious, Tim. He gets the berserker rage. And then look out, buddy, because, boy, he's going to be hacking and slashing.
Okay. So Professor X finds him at this fraternity house.
Uh-huh.
And is like...
Well, first he gets the wrong Wolverine, just the guy with the sharp teeth.
Yeah, which, listen,
Uh-huh.
I bet that guy could do some damage.
Any other day of the week, sure.
Yeah.
But, he's not X-Men material.
He's not a mutant.
No.
So a mutant.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So is Wolverine the first X-Man?
No.
Okay. Is Wolverine the second X-Man?
No. Wolverine didn't come actually till like much later.
All right.
Not much later, but like 10 years later or so. And he wasn't an X-Man at first.
Was he a villain?
I told you he was a villain.
No, against the X-Men.
No. I mean, at times he has been, but for the most part, but he's always been like kind of reluctant about the X-Men, you know, because he's like a, rough and gruff Canadian. Yeah. But then he caught a look at Jean Grey and was like, hubba hubba. Boy, maybe I would like to join these X-Men.
Who's Jean Grey?
Jean Grey is, she's another character.
Is she a mutant?
She is a mutant. She
What's
has
her
psychic abilities.
Oh, psychic.
Yeah. But here's the rub. She's dating Cyclops. And Cyclops is like, hey, get out of here, buddy. The woman's spoken for.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, I mean, I think Jean Grey could stick up for herself, too. I'm just saying, Tom.
I think, the only reason... That's what Wolverine said. He was like, I think the lady can speak for herself.
Wait, hold on.
What?
So, the only reason Wolverine joined the X-Men is because he wanted to kiss a lady?
No, he's kissed ladies.
With this one specific lady? The psychic
it's
lady?
It's not the only reason, but it was like a nice, sweeten the deal.
Who's the lady? Who plays the lady in the movies?
Oh, what's her name? You'd know her. She was a model.
Rebecca Romaine
No,
Stamos?
not Rebecca Romaine Stamos. She doesn't have the Stamos on there anymore. Update your Rolodex.
Vendela?
Vendela? Oh my God, what is her name?
Tawny Katane?
No, it's not. All right, we're not going to keep guessing. I'll look up her name during the break. So anyway, he was just, and beyond that, she was.
He's a pervert.
No, because she was kind to him. He fell in love with her, Tim. He wasn't just like,
that's not
boy,
how
I'd like to get laid.
Well, that's
by
not how
woman.
you characterized it earlier.
I just said hubba hubba.
Yeah, which implied that it was just a...
Yeah, and let me finish. He
Famke Janssen.
Yes. He said, hubba hubba, what a personality.
I see. Okay.
So, but, Cyclops was like, get out of here. But he was like, no way, bub.
Okay. So Cyclops' power is he has one eye.
No, he can shoot lasers out of both of his eyes.
But his name is Cyclops?
Because he's got to wear a visor, and that visor, for whatever reason, puts it just out in one beam. I don't think that's ever been explained why it had to be that way. Why they couldn't have...
You don't have to explain everything, Tom.
Well,
Leave a little to the
comments.
imagination. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's what's ruining culture. Can't leave anything to the imagination.
Well, I mean, Cyclops is a way better character name than Two Eyes.
Depends.
Look how Two Eyes is here.
Two Eyes.
And he's looking at us.
Two Eyes McGee is a good one if his last name's McGee.
It's not McGee, it's Summers.
Two Eyes Summers. That doesn't
Then that sounds just like romantic.
Yeah. Ooh.
Like,
why not just Mr. Summers?
That's not a threatening name. Oh no, the X-Men are here. Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Colossus, and Mr. Summers.
Yeah, I don't know. It's, because then you're like, it catches people off guard. You're like, oh, Mr. Summers, he's got nothing. And then bam, a single laser beam out of his eyes.
Well, you probably noticed that he's wearing a fucking laser visor. Like, it's not very discreet.
Is the visor made out of lasers?
No, but it's pretty futuristic looking. Okay. It is not discreet. You could not get away with this.
Well, then maybe he doesn't need a badass name if he's got a badass visor, Tom. Maybe less is more sometimes.
Well, look, he didn't want to be left out. Everybody else got cool names.
All right. So what else do I need to know? We're running low on time. What else do I need to know about the Wolverine? All right. So we've established he's not a werewolf.
Right.
He's ageless, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Just like Dick Clark.
Just like Dick Clark. You
don't hear much from Dick Clark lately.
Tom, you made a face after saying that. Like, oh no, they're really going to kill me.
Oh boy, we're gonna get letters. I can tell. I got a few quick facts about
All right.
Wolverine for you, Tim. First off, this one they don't really talk it. This was in like the first movie, but they don't focus on it as much in the later movies. He's got a great sniffer. He's got a great sense of smell.
Okay, like better than a human?
Yeah,
or just
like an animal.
like a human with a good sense of smell?
No. Like a
so
mutant sense of
now
smell.
he's seeming more like a Wolverine.
Right. Yeah, exactly, Tim. That's why he got the name.
Okay.
One of the
Well,
reasons.
because he smelled real good? Because you didn't didn't freaking mention that
He doesn't
earlier.
necessarily smell
No,
good.
he smells well. He's good at smelling.
Yes, he's good at smelling.
Yeah, you didn't mention that.
But
when
he
I asked
doesn't-
why he was
he
named
doesn't-
Wolverine, you didn't mention his heightened sense of smell.
But he doesn't necessarily smell well.
Yeah.
Because he's like in the woods a lot. So he
No.
probably
He
smells
smells-
like shit, to be honest with you.
he
He smokes
smells-
cigars all the time.
He doesn't smell good,
Smells
but
like
he smells
BO and
well.
cigar smoke. So he's very good at smelling. But, I guess that's not like a real, interesting thing to put in movies. So
Right.
there are very few scenes where he's just going, what's that?
Yeah.
So that's one. Number two, Tim, if you want to kill him, you can drown him.
But he'll
And I'll-
fight back with his metal bones.
Yeah. But you might have the advantage because here's something you can think about. He's got those metal bones, sinks like a goddamn rock.
Mm.
So if you want to get him, he's dead now in the comics, by the way.
Really?
He's suffocated to death.
Where?
At
Florida?
In Florida, he was at a dry cleaner's and he put one of the bags over his
Wow.
Yeah. They told him to stop playing with it. That wasn't a toy, but he
Oh,
didn't
man,
listen.
it was an accident.
It was an accident, total accident.
Wow.
But they say it was an accident, but his pants were around his ankles when they found him. So anyway, he drowned. He's not very buoyant.
All right.
So keep that in mind if you ever come across him. He once told Jean Grey. Now keep in mind he's trying to impress her.
Yeah, okay.
He's got the hots for her. That he survived for 6 months under a glacier by eating strips of his own arm. And then the healing in the arm would just grow back.
It's gross.
That's super gross. And it also doesn't make sense.
It does make sense. Why not?
Because where'd the energy to grow that arm back come from?
The arm itself.
No.
Ironic, huh?
If you're growing shit back, you got to be eating a lot.
You don't know how much energy it takes to regenerate.
I have an idea, and it'd take a lot.
You don't know, Tom.
Tim,
you don't
I know
how-
a lot about lizards.
I don't think
I've been telling you this.
You seem like a guy that wants to know a lot about lizards, but does not know a lot about
I
lizards.
know a lot about lizards, Tim. I got a lot of hot rocks in my apartment right now.
Go on.
So that was another one. And then another one is that he carries a medical card saying that he's a war veteran who has a metal plate in his head. And that
False valor.
way, yeah, the original case of false valor.
Wow.
I mean, in fairness, he fought in like every war from like the Civil War on.
Oh, so he was a veteran.
Right, but you can't be like, oh, here's my card. It says I'm a
I'd
veteran
fight
of the
in
Civil
every
War.
if I if I couldn't die.
Yeah, well, I think that's I don't.
I
Think
probably wouldn't either.
He wasn't looking to be a hero. He was just like, yeah, I'll do my part.
He fought for the South.
No, he didn't fight for the South. He's from Canada.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's from
oh, yeah,
even
no,
further
they shouldn't
north.
have let him anywhere near the Civil War. Not your fight, buddy.
I think by then he had emigrated,
Okay.
but he's
To
got
the South.
But to the
He's
South.
like, I love these Jim Crow laws.
Yeah, but he's got a card, so he doesn't have to go through the metal detector at airports because that'd be a big problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So he's got the card. So they
But,
just give him a pat.
hold on.
They just give him a pat down. I
No,
think.
that's not what they do, Tom.
What? Yeah, they give him a pat down
At
if you
the
got metal
airport,
on your
though?
head.
No, but what they do is they go, okay, so we'll go with you instead of the whole body thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna wand your head to make sure that the plate's there,
Okay.
and then we're gonna do the rest of your body to make sure that you don't have a gun on you.
No, they just pat you down.
That's not what happens. I've seen it, Tom.
Well, maybe he tells him he has a pacemaker too.
Well, that has nothing to do with the veterans card fact that you alluded to earlier.
Well, that's just one thing, and then later he's like, "Oh, I also have a pacemaker." You can't use the wand. He's a real dick. He waits until they've got the wand out and everything.
So you don't even need the fake veterans card. He just enjoys false valor.
Look, to be honest, Tim, he's got like the X-Men jet. What the hell is it called? Black Hawk, I think, something like that. He doesn't even need. He rarely flies commercial,
Okay.
so it's not a big deal.
All right. Well, you're the one who brought it up, Tom.
And look, I'm talking about Tim. Yeah, were they wanding him when he was flying in like the 50s?
Maybe.
No,
Why not?
they didn't have metal detectors back then.
In the 50s?
No.
Sure they did.
Yeah, for beachcombers looking for treasures on the beach.
Yeah, and then on the weekends they'd volunteer down at the airport.
Wand people's heads.
Yeah.
Do you want to know some of his nicknames, Tim?
Logan. The Wolverine. How come they didn't make a movie called The Wolverine?
They did. That was the last one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You idiot.
That's what they do. You know what? You know when they do that, Tom?
What?
When you know that it's finally serious.
Yeah.
Like
when
they're
they
going to
put
come out
the-
with this movie, The Batman.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's how you know it's serious.
Yeah, this isn't for kids.
Here's some of his nicknames, Tim. Runt.
Why?
He's little. He's 5'3".
Oh, like a Wolverine, Tom. You're
Yeah,
telling me all these
I
things
told you
after
all the things.
No, you didn't. You said the reason they called him Wolverine is because of his claws.
Well, that's the primary reason.
I think
The claws, he's hairy. He's little. He's from Canada.
he smells well.
He smells well, but he smells bad.
Yeah. He doesn't smell good. He
right.
smells well.
And he smokes
smells
cigars.
bad. Well, Wolverines don't. I could be wrong.
Well, but that's why Hugh Jackman was initially seen as a bad casting choice, because Hugh Jackman is a tall man like me. He's 6'2".
Wow. Wow.
So
Intimidatingly
almost a
tall.
full,
Yeah.
almost a full foot.
He looks
taller
like
than Wolverine.
he's tiny, though.
No, he doesn't look like he's tiny.
Yeah, he does, Tom.
No, he doesn't.
To a man like me, he looks tiny.
Show me where he looks like he's tiny.
When he was doing ADR for Logan, he looks like a tiny little man.
But that's because they had Stephen Merchant, a tall man, a very tall man, a disgustingly tall man, videotaping him. I don't think that was actually him, but look, he's tall.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that he's actually seems short.
Do you want to hear some of these other nicknames?
Runt,
Fist of Legend.
Fist of Legend.
Yeah.
Because it's legendary
Fist.
claw fists.
Corporal Logan.
Mm-hmm.
Soft James.
Wait, you're gonna have to explain that one.
I don't know that one.
Okay. So wait, Mr. Summers is not. That's not intimidating. Nobody should call him that. Okay, Wolverine's name is Soft James. That's one that'll really. No, it's the X-Men with Cyclops and Soft James.
I mean, they probably didn't use that one when he was like fighting villains. Clawman.
That's just Stan Lee was like, here's my newest creation, Clawman.
Amazing Immortal Man, Wild Man, Iron Man.
Really? Iron
taken.
Man, that's confusing.
10th Man, Captain.
Why? Because he's the 10th X-Man?
No. Captain.
Well, then I'm.
Because 10 is X.
Yeah, but he's not the only X-Man.
Yeah, but maybe in this case he was. And somebody just, maybe it was like the first day of school and somebody misread it. And they were like,
these are
10 Man.
These are like mistaken identities of Wolverine. Why are you reading them off to me?
Captain Terror.
Wow.
Revolto the Clown.
Okay.
Little Uncle.
Little Uncle?
Yeah. Little Smitty. Wild Boy.
Where are you getting this list?
From the Marvel Wiki.
Okay.
He had a lot of names. That's what I'm trying to tell
Okay,
you.
you don't have to yell at me. I just asked for clarification on a couple of them.
I'll tell you what none of them were.
What?
Wolfman.
Wolfman Jack.
Yeah, because that was already taken.
Yeah, I'll tell you what one of them was. What was it? Soft Jim?
Soft James.
Soft James.
You better look out, bub, because Soft James is here.
Is that because of all his fur?
Maybe. I mean, it implies that this happened prior to Weapon X and Project X, because he was still going by James.
Well, to sum it up, I give Logan 5 stars, and I give the Wolverine 2 thumbs up.
The Wolverine was good. It was
I'm
the
sure
same
it was.
director.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, all these movies are serious and good and for grown-ups.
It was rated R, Tim, and they said F a lot.
Yeah, no, that's how you know it's a quality film.
And they showed boobies.
Oh, you can just see that on Instagram.
What? Where?
I don't know. Boob accounts?
I knew about butt accounts, but boob accounts? Wow.
That's a horse of a different color.
If you like the show, you can go to tcgt.com to find out more. You can also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Complete Guide. Follow us on Twitter @Complete Guide. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram @Tom Reynolds.
Follow me on those things at Your Pal Tim.
If you want to support the show, you can support our sponsors. You can also go to tcgt.com/Amazon to do your normal Amazon shopping. And you can check out tcgt.com/pledge, where you can support our Patreon and get fun bonuses like weekly episodes of Fast Food Friday. We just a new hot batch of Fast Food Friday episodes is on, and some are controversial.
Yeah. Tom says a lot of racial slurs.
No, it's not. I say a lot of racial things. Tim, it's about the different items at fast food restaurants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and your intense feelings, I won't spoil, about certain types of people.
Maybe certain types of people in the drive-thru.
Yeah, no, we'll see.
So you're not going to go see Logan?
Why would I see Logan? I've never seen... You tricked me one time into seeing an X-Men movie.
Yeah, and you loved it.
No, I hated it.
Well, how else was I going to get you there? I didn't intentionally trick you.
All I wanted to see was the classic movie Live, Die, Repeat, starring Tom Cruise.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Um,
At the time, it was Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah. And then you hoodwinked me, and I was in Dublin, so I had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And you're a real scoundrel, Tom.
I didn't do that intentionally.
You showed up on time to that movie.
I don't... Well, I was in Dublin, too. I had nothing else to do. Well, I think you might like Logan. I think you would like... it's too long for you, but I think you'd like it.
I'm fine with a long movie if it's not like... Look.
It didn't feel long, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I don't know. Just wrap it up, guys. That's what I say.
That's what they're doing. Hugh Jackman he's done.
Really?
He said he's done playing the part. This was his last hurrah, his last goodbye.
Well, I can only hope that's true. So are they... He's not making any movies anymore.
No movies anymore.
He's retiring from the biz.
No, he's just retiring from playing Wolverine.
Yeah,
but they haven't said
Broadway.
They haven't said if they're going to recast or reboot or
I'm on the edge of my seat,
or just not have that character in anymore.
Cool. Tom, do you have do we have any more things? reddit.com/r/complete guide TCGTE.
Yeah.
Go to that. Tom.
Yeah.
Final thoughts on Wolverine.
He's a great man.
Thanks. See you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.